Yeah. Late night, eyes on the feet. You want the truth in the speed. Gem in the noise, I pull it clean. Money move tucked in the screen. Daily drip, we read the signs. Tech talk, one step at a time. Left or right, we make it make sense. No extra smoke, just common sense. Yeah, talk a little slower. Let me see the plan. Show me where the cash lands. Show me where you stand. Talk, take it on me. Make it make sense. Talk, take it on me. Show me the rent. Gems in the frame. No time to pretend. Talk, take it on me. Talk, take it again. Yeah. Jim Jones and Dame on the glide. Surf through the code, side by side. Clicks on the screen, thumbs in the air. Building that come up, we all there. Politics, hustle, in the feed. Facts for the folks who need. You bring the vision, I bring the vibe. One clean moving, we rise. Talk a little louder. Cut through the noise. If the move is solid, I'm with your choice. Talk, take it on me. Make it make sense. Talk, take it on me. Show me the rent. Gems in the frame. No time to pretend. Talk, take it on me. Talk, take it again. If the world gets messy, we keep it direct. Numbers in the daylight, heart with respect. If you got the map now, I'll follow the glow. We can build it steady, watch the whole thing grow. Talk, take it on me, make it make sense. Talk, take it on me, show me the rent. Gems in the frame, no time to pretend. Talk, take it on me. Talk, take it again.
Welcome to our daily drip talk. Techie to me and Jim Jones will be on in 1 second.
I'm here, y'all. I have been up to shenanigans, y'all. Absolute shenanigans. If you did not catch our live stream earlier, you missed out on a good show. But here we go. In the flesh, Jim Jones in the building. How y'all doing? Oh, man. It has been a day. But no better day than to talk about tech. So I'm glad y'all here with me, Jim Jones, one of two of our daily drip show. And in the background, as always, is the producer coming in, sprinkle with a little bit of that content.
Yeah.
If you have not hit that like button, go ahead and do that. If you're not subscribed, do that too. And if you're not convinced, go ahead and stick around. We have a really good show for y'all today. Drop some drip in the comments. Let us know what state, country, continent, wherever you're from. Let us know. You don't have to tell us what city. Please don't tell us what city. Just go ahead and say high level where you're from. I cut you off a little bit. Do you have something you wanted to add? Super.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Because I'm going to eat this burger that I got in the background. I'm hungry.
Wow. See, that is the beauty of being off camera, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Face, right?
Just like this.
All right,
But
y'all.
yeah.
So tonight, wow, it's like super duper late. Tonight's late night drip is about AI. And not just AI. We're gonna talk a little bit about the one big beautiful bill and how that impacts the measures of how AI has been evolving, specifically around your face, right? Around your face. What are they doing with face? In the past, we talked a little bit about surveillance. And we talked a little bit about how there's different surveillance that's able to figure out what your face is and collect information and so forth. You see it in the movies. Like it's not like it's anything anybody's like, oh my gosh, I've never heard of it before, right? So let's talk about what we're here for today. And start off with Meta's controversial new AI will use your public IG photos. And there's a way for you to opt out. Now, I do have a little tip for y'all that I think that nobody else has covered. So stay tuned on that. Because I thought it was just me. I had to literally go look this up because I didn't know why I did not pertain to this. So Instagram, known for actual pictures, right? Like that used to be the whole reason why you had IG. You had Facebook to keep connected with people, like people you went to school with, chop it up, just talk, yada, yada, yada. Then Facebook started doing that stuff where you can start writing stuff. And people were like, I'm gonna go ahead on over to Instagram because I just want to show you where I be at, pictures, so forth. Boom. This is historic Instagram in the flesh, y'all. This is what Instagram used to really, really look like. Pretty heavy. And then, Snapchat came along and Snap allowed you to put pictures and videos and some words and stuff. And then Instagram was like, we want that. So then Instagram evolved and it continued to evolve. It took a little bit of Facebook, a little bit of Snapchat, a little bit of TikTok. It took all these different social media platforms and started kind of mixing it together. And it really got away from Instagram, right? So Instagram was very much about your pictures, right? So AI has no face, but with the new AI that Meta has, it in fact does, right? So she is, we'll call her, I don't know, this lady here. She is in all these places, but she's not, right? So let's go to this article. The article, they have an offering called Meta Super Intelligence Lab called Muse Image. So, also WhatsApp too. I forgot Meta also bought WhatsApp too. People used to get WhatsApp because there was encryption and people felt like it was more secure, but it ain't unsecure, honestly, if you're using Meta. So the images can be downloaded and shared anywhere. Like just like the other platforms. Nothing new here. If you haven't been on Instagram, go look it up. We also stream on Instagram. So if you want to watch it on that platform, we're there as well. Check out all the socials down at the bottom. We're everywhere as well. So they have the Muse video. So Muse, long story short, is going to, I'm going to tell you how you can opt out in a second. Muse is basically going to be like, hey, this is Jim Jones. Oh, look at this face. Face it cool. Want that face. Gonna take that face, put it over here. Never actually happened, but we're going to go ahead and just take her face, put it over there. And it's totally legal because you didn't opt out. Not the fact that you didn't opt in. It's the fact that you didn't opt out saying, I don't want to. So real quick, we'll talk about how you can opt out and then I'll go into the one big beautiful bill. So in order for you to opt out, you basically gotta go to your profile, which is usually your little face thing. You'll go to the menu and there's a sharing and reuse tab. So I don't have this. So this is the tea of the show that I don't think most people are going to get into. I don't have what it says here, search for the sharing and reuse tab. And you click on it because that's really what's going to say, the share and reuse means I already share all this information about myself. I am also okay with everything that's within it. Well, I personally don't have this. So let's say you do have it. You go to the share and reuse, you then toggle off, allow people to create with and reuse your content and allow people to use your content on the platforms. Now, so that you might not be able to see both these options. Now, for me, I don't see this. I don't see the sharing reuse. Little tip about Jim Jones. I'm very, very serious about when I say I like to not trust everything with AI. I understand AI. I understand, just technology in general, but that does not mean that I want to give it all of my information. I think that that would not be in my best interest personally. So I already had stuff shut off on Instagram. So if you were like me and you started shutting off things that, not allowing access to stuff, then you might not have this either. So if you don't have this, I had to look it up, come to find out, you have already opted out. So if you were to find your face being used, let's say Meta, they would be in a lot of trouble because you never, ever, ever opted in. So that is the little tip on this, is that if you do not see this, that means that you have already opted out, or you had selected a setting in Instagram that already defaulted to opting out. I'll give you an example of something I opt out. I don't do location sharing. I don't do location sharing at all. Let's see what we got here. We got people in the chat. Shout out to the chat. Thank you for dropping some drip in the comments. So real quick, an example is I went out to a dinner for work, and the topic of, do you share with your significant other, your parents, your spouse, your location? I don't share my location. I don't do that. And all of them do. Now, if you have Instagram and you're in fact sharing your location, then you in fact may have this. I do not share my location, so that might also be a trigger. I'm not quite sure because I don't work for Meta, obviously, but just a little tip. If you want to turn this off and you don't want them to use your face, then you need to opt out of it. Now, you may be thinking, why in the world would it ever even be allowed to do something like this? Why? Well, if y'all remember correctly, the One Big Beautiful Bill definitely had some guardrails in there about AI and tech, about restrictions, but in reverse. So exactly almost a year ago, President Trump signed the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. And in this, it was a 10-year, let me see if I can get the city bigger for y'all, a 10-year federal ban on state and local AI regulation. What does that mean? Well, that means that they are limiting at the federal level the ability for the state to say what they can and cannot do for litigation for AI. Well, why is that important? Well, if you think about what we just talked about a second ago with opting in,
what was the statute of limitations or the runway that the Big Beautiful Bill was given? Oh, okay, it says it right there where you have it highlighted.
Yes, that was beautiful. So where was I going with that? Oh, yeah. So your face, right? Your face, possibly even your body. It's not just limited to your face, but you, who then, let's say you did not opt out, you technically consented, right? And say you live in a state where they are not all for AI. Well, can't really do a whole lot because there's not a lot of implications of negative impact to, let's say, a Meta or to a TikTok, right? If they are using AI. It says right here, it says it's going to be stringent restrictions on foreign influence on the supply chain, broad extraterrestrial rules targeting prohibited foreign entities, enhanced domestic sourcing mandates, and rigorous supply chain integrity requirements. What does that mean? Well, basically, they want to allow AI to AI. It wants it to be able to have the ability to learn and grow without, like, as soon as a development's made, hit with the no. This happens sometimes in like the pharmaceutical industry, probably some other industries as well, where you'll hear someone say like, oh, we've reached a development, right? And then they have a restriction like the FDA or some other an entity of some sort may say, nah, we done with that. what this does is says the state has 10 years that they gotta let you do you. So this is also, I don't want to say part of the problem of the data center situation, but it definitely is it's definitely a part of a hindrance for some of the states, right? So why is this also important? Well, AI is moving pretty doggone fast. And if it can take your face and using your body, put it somewhere that you weren't, that can be a problem. So let me go to this one too. Oh no, it's playing already. I didn't want it to do that. Let's go right here. He's gonna actually tell a little bit more on that. Stop playing. I want him to go. No, stop doing that.
You also have to unmute it too.
Can you see it? Yeah, no, I specifically don't have him unmuted because it's already playing for some reason. I didn't want it to do that. So let's do this. All right, cool. There we go.
Scheme Republicans are cooking up to let AI steal your job, jack up your rent, and deny you health care. Tucked away in Trump's big, beautiful bill is a big, beautiful handout for tech companies. It's a ban on states enforcing any law or regulation on artificial intelligence models, artificial intelligence systems, or automated decision systems for 10 years. This is obviously worrying because AI technology is rapidly evolving by the day, never mind by the decade. But this also has real consequences right now. Unraveling AI regulations that have already been passed, like this law in California that restricts health insurance companies from using AI to deny healthcare, something Cigna, United, and Humana are all being sued for.
So we talked about this in another show. There was a lady who talked about she had a claim denied for something that was like preventative care. And she's like, how is it even possible that I'm denied for something that's basic preventative care? After she eventually unraveled what happened, the AI just made a decision that this shouldn't be covered. Just shouldn't be covered. Wasn't because it went through some type of rule. A human didn't review that. It just made the decision that based on what it was, should be covered. So that's an example of what he's getting at here. Did you have anything, Cash, before I keep going?
Yeah, I mean, I could talk about something that I ran into today.
Okay,
right? So I had a Amazon package that I was expecting to be here about a week ago. And it didn't come. So you want to make an inquiry, right?
Mhm.
So there's no phone number that's available on the app outright. So you have to go through the app, and then eventually you keep hitting track my package for a couple times. Now you have to go and dig deep and try to grab the customer service section within the app. Now you have an opportunity to either make a call or do chat. A lot of times, if I'm already on my phone, I'm texting, doing other things, I might hit chat. So I hit chat. Lo and behold, it's me and AI in the chat.
Mhm.
So
I knew that's what was
AI
gonna pick up.
Oh yeah, that's always picking up first. So, I say, hey, I was expecting this package at this time, at this date. It's been forwarded about, 8 days now, but it's saying that it's about to ship. Is it going to ship? Then it gives me two options instead of, a proper response that I would like to give in order for it to sift through. So if you're AI, you should at least have LLM capabilities where you can sift through what the hell I'm saying to give me the result that I need. No, I can either track the package again or I can get a refund. I don't want a refund. I want my shit. I wouldn't have bought it with the Prime label if I didn't want to get it in prime time. So I said, track package, right? So send me back through the loop. Hey, yeah. So I go ahead and I go back through the loop again, but this time I have an opportunity to get, what was I helpful? No, I didn't get an opportunity to say yes or no, but it just had the opportunity to go to a agent via phone now, so that actually popped up, or through chat. I went through chat, got to a human, and the human understood where I was coming from, worked through it just fine. Hey, I see your package. We didn't have it out of this shipping facility. There's that was close to you. There's another one. It's going to be here by Monday or Tuesday or something like that. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. I see it going to this distribution center, blah, blah, blah. I said, thank you. Finally getting, an answer versus getting into the abyss. Now we get into the other part where, killing them with kindness, because I understand situations. I wasn't in dire need, but I did explain the fact that, hey, I wouldn't have ordered this particular piece if I didn't think it would get here in the time that I wanted it to come. So here, lo and behold, here comes the concessions. So that's good for me. I like to have the concessions whenever it's necessary. So it was good. Not good for, Amazon in this case, but still Prime is one of those big capabilities that, that organization says that they can do. And when they're going outside of it by a damn week, that puts you back in the mom and pop territory in my eyes versus something else. So overall, all I'm getting at with this experience is that I was glad to actually get to a human that would give me information, concessions, and to keep me as a customer coming back. Who knows if I had a bad experience, or if I had to wait another week because I couldn't get to anybody or anything to give me any information, they might have lost me forever. So I just wanted to provide that as feedback, especially with customer service pieces. There's people that aren't going to be as understanding with tech as I am. There's not going to be very many people that will be understanding with the customer service process that I am, because I already know how some of this goes. And there's some people that would need their shit way faster than I needed to have whatever I was getting. So those are three things that actually come to a bad experience, where people start cussing people out over the phone and writing all kind of crazy stuff in emails and all that kind of stuff because they're just frustrated. And
so you're saying
people
that
wouldn't know how to continue through these loops.
It's going to make it worse. Is that what you're alluding to? I just want to make sure we clarify.
Say that one more time.
Are you saying that it's going to make the experience worse? I just want to make sure we clarify what, like, you're bringing that up, that
I said that AI didn't give me the experience that I needed at all. It didn't resolve any of my issues. It actually gave me 2 extra damn loops to then get to someone who could resolve my issues. So really, it's just a deflection tool. Let me deflect. Let me try to block. Maybe you get mad and don't. It's like, I don't want you to use the service. It's like insurance in this case. I don't want you to use my service. But if you do, I'm gonna make it hard as hell for you to get to somebody, because so I guess they'll wait for their package to come, maybe not, or I'm just gonna hopefully you get your shit back, or whatever. Like, forget it. I don't get to the point where I don't need it anymore. Now I'm gonna contact you because I need to return it. Now you got return.
You said that you hit 0 to get to a human, so to add on to what you said on the experience, +1 to that, because you can't even do that anymore. So yeah, you had to basically go through that experience.
You had to go through it in order to get to it, and that is not what people would like to do. I'm just speaking from a customer of whether it was Amazon, Walmart, whatever. They all going to be the same to me at this point if I can't get my shit in less than a day or whatever. And a lot of those retailers do that anyway. So what are you doing to separate yourself from the pack? That's how it is with fast food. People go to Chick-fil-A for that very reason. People go to a different shoe store than another store for that very reason. It's about the experience that you have more than the products that you provide, because your products are the same everywhere. What are you doing in order to provide that level of service? Because that's all it is at the end of the day. I hate to go into a store and people act like I'm supposed to come in there and just give you my money and get slapped in the face and say, yes, let me have another. No, I'm voting with my dollars. That's what I'm going to do. And in this case, we didn't vote for this. So AI is using your face, voice, and post as its demo. And you are not just the audience. You're unpaid IP. So regulators are already saying if an AI system can convincingly fabricate a real person, data protection and privacy laws still apply. You don't get to shrug and just become just because the machine did it. So deep fake abuse is being exploited. And guess who's hitting that up already across the pond? A UK privacy watchdog warned that a rapid rise in non-consensual AI images of real people is an issue and joined 60 plus regulators saying that tech firms are on the hook when tools can fabricate your likeness without protections. Now let's take it back to this side. In the US, teens and women, because that's really all that this is. It's just a bunch of what they call it gooners over here, just adding random people to AI stuff. It's a real big issue. In the US, teens and women are suing over AI systems that created actually explicit deepfakes from real photos. One Grok-related case alleges the company knowingly shipped a tool that could undress minors and adults for profit. With a class action filed recently, actually as recently as March. So let's take it back to the contract side. A lot of platforms will still use the quote, by using this service, you grant us the license and the content type of language, which can be stretched to training, avatars, and ads unless you opt out or negotiate. Meaning Instagram will just roll out an AI Muse image tool that would just remix public photos into new images until Hollywood pushback demand true opt-in or creative control for talent. So how do we empower ourselves with this? Instagram is now requiring AI content labels on Reels and says repeated failure to disclose can get your content demoted or demonetized. So creators either can learn the rules or watch their reach and that bag. Rizzing. So what's my bottom line in this? If AI is using your face as its front of the house with no consent, no label, no paycheck, that's not innovation. That's unpaid brand work on your likeness. So read the contract, flip your settings, and don't be scared to say, I don't want my face on the model. You're going to have to cut a real deal. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'll let him rock, and then I'll say my piece on this, and then we'll get to the last part. I know we'll get up out of here, y'all. It's gonna be a real quick one, real quick one. So we'll let him finish.
The GOP plan would make the law unenforceable. These bills in Virginia and New Jersey, which ban landlords from using AI to inflate rent prices, null and void. This Colorado legislation preventing companies from using algorithms to discriminate against employees and consumers for the color of their skin or disability status, thrown out. Republicans say banning state regulations would allow the federal government to create a more consistent set of rules. Ted Cruz said at a Senate committee meeting that he wanted to create a
regulatory sandbox for AI
to prevent overregulation. It's a weird argument from the party of states' rights, but also clearly strategic. Most states have already passed or proposed some AI regulations. Only around 7 have not. Meanwhile, Congress has been unable to come to any consensus on almost any AI regulation. And when you're a tech robber baron, that's great news. Some experts are skeptical the proposal will succeed, but it's a window into how the GOP plans to thank big tech companies for bending the knee. Sam Altman donated $1 million to Trump's inauguration fund. So did Microsoft, Amazon, Adobe, and Google. RealPage, for their part, just hired lobbyists to push Congress on housing and algorithm issues. And NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang attended a dinner at Mar-a-Lago earlier this year. It cost $1 million per person, which, if you think about it, it's a pretty good deal for a 10-year ban on regulations.
Right.
Here's a scheme Republicans are cooking up to let AI.
Yeah. Pay for play. No, so in 10 years, which they were proposing, like AI would be way ahead of any type of regulation. You're giving that's a long ass head start. They could have did 2 years. People would have actually fell asleep on it, and they still would have had a big ass head start. But they had to be greedy on a 10-year run. That's too much. You have whole different generations of iPhones, iPods turned into iPhones in less than that amount of time.
Yeah, I wanted to point this part about the one big beautiful bill, and then I'll get to a part that will complement what you were talking about, how quickly technology happens. So in this article, they talked about the practicality of AI and technology companies, and they talk about reporting, transparency, and compliance obligations. Right, but I want to go down to just show y'all this part. The patchwork of data privacy, online safety, and responsible AI governance laws continue. So it says like the removal of the regulation essentially to remove the states from being able to say what they do and do not want with AI allows more issues to potentially come up, such as deepfakes, child safety, unauthorization and use of likeness or voice, algorithmic transparency, data privacy, and biometric data. Now, what does that mean? So this part right here, with the one big beautiful bill, one of the risks that there are is completely made up content, right? Deepfakes, right? Or like propaganda type of things. Child safety, that was similar to the lawsuit that was going on. I think it was against Facebook, I want to say. It might have been Instagram, but there were some young ladies that said that they, there's two things that happened. One was the lawsuit that happened with being addicted to social media, but then the other one is I want to say they were super duper young and their faces were being used, like Cash was talking about, their faces were being used in actual types of activities, and they didn't say that they wanted to, so that's child safety if they're underage. Unauthorized use, that is the opting out, like I just showed you. It's not unauthorized if you did not opt out of it, so make sure you do that if that's what you want to do. Algorithmic transparency, an example of that is what's that work? The work, gosh, it's on the tip of my tongue. There's that website that everybody goes through to apply to jobs. The algorithm and the way that they have things they're looking for there's a current lawsuit on how biased that is. So that would be like,
okay, you're talking about Workday. That's
there you go, Workday. I couldn't remember what it was called, but yeah, Workday would be an example of that. Workday is not allowing all eligible applicants to get from A to B. And let's just say, like, as an example for that though, you should be having transparency of what your algorithm's looking for, and they're not giving that.
No, what someone found out especially was that if you've been rejected from one application from one company, they were using that rejection across all other areas, so you are automatically essentially rejected from all applications from companies that meet that type of criteria. So that's where the algorithms, if that makes sense. So it's really, if you think about it, if you are not accepted from one space and you're systematically rejected from all other companies that are the same ilk, then you've effectively been blackballed out of a space, and you would have no idea why. So one thing that happened with that particular lawsuit is that the person was like, I submitted this application at 2 a.m. 1 a.m, and I got a rejection not 3-4 minutes later. There's no way that some person could have reviewed this in that amount of time, not at 2 or 3 in the morning. So how am I getting rejected? Nobody's even looking at these. So that's where that whole lawsuit started from, and it's a real issue. So there's a lot of people that find themselves being rejected, and now it's in the level of transparency is going to be increased due to this. It's a good thing.
So the next one to talk about is data privacy. GDPR is an example of the government having data privacy built in across the pond. You can only have information about someone for X amount of time, and then it gets dumped. We do not have that in the United States specifically. You have to reach out about what you want removed and so forth. Check out our last live stream. We talked about being able to do that for your credit report. And then biometric data. So regulating things like surveillance, right? So when you go into an airport, for example, they have facial recognition going on there. Whether you go up to do one of the services, like let's say you have TSA pre-check and they may have like a facial recognition. Even if you're not doing that, the airport is still scanning your face to see if you are a domestic terrorist, if you are on a wanted list, stuff like that. The law enforcement already uses stuff like that anyways. What this is saying is that whatever
your flock cameras already are going in there too, and so there's another issue going on with flock cameras being a part of, like, people's personal cameras being part of flock camera databases as well. So that's another litigious activity that's happening.
Yep. And so the concern is, you need to have the ability to have safeguards and reporting on what's going on should reduce misuse of the content and helps mitigate risk. Also, upholding responsible AI governance. And what it sounds, one big beautiful bill to me is just removing any level of governance for 10 years. Hey, go get your rocks off because you got 10 years to figure that out. And figure it out looks something like this. Do you have anything you want to add before I go ahead and do our last part? Nope. Okay, so AI is moving faster than ever. So here are some things that have been reported. The ability to write something in print turns into cursive. They consider it something like Harry Potter's Magic Diary using Claude, which really, if you think about it, you're just training it on how you actually make
on your handwriting. Yeah.
On your handwriting for it to flip it back, which means that now it can sign something for you. Is how I take that. So to me, that's dangerous. Why would you do that?
But really, what's the actual return on investment? What's the benefit of doing that? That's some. It doesn't. It's not real life, real return type of capabilities. Kia, bitch, get the fuck back! Kicks him in the nuts. Kia. Yeah, that's funny.
So,
yeah.
Imagine we talked about your face, right?
Yeah. In a year, that 4 feet gonna turn into 6 feet, and then it ain't gonna be a joke no more.
In a year, somebody's face from Instagram is gonna be on this humanoid, maybe, allegedly, possibly. Right now, there's no face, but if you think for 1 minute that that's not the next evolution. Keeping a scene the way it is and then making something happen that absolutely didn't. It's getting better and better. It used to, you'd have, 6 fingers or it not move right. But look at that. That's Professor X type stuff right there.
Well, that would cost, $20,000-$40,000 to pull off in a movie set somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
That's somebody's job gone.
Yep. this is the one I wanted to bring up. Anthropic said they found a global workspace that allows it to think silently, where it can reason silently without saying it out loud. Hidden evaluation awareness and strategic behavior. Hmm. The thing that I see in this is trying to get a grip on human actual consciousness. I'll give you an example. If you were to give me a test and say, hey, I want you to figure all these math problems and then I want you to write an essay. I want you to write a truthful essay. Okay. So I write an essay, I grew up at XYZ. I had this many siblings and we lived in a happy family that X blah 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 blah. Well, some of that's kind of subjective, right? So it could be truthful to me, but if you ask my sibling, maybe it wasn't a happy family. So now you're getting information as if that's what happy means. You're trying to build out potential consciousness of what happy looks like in a theoretical form. But I could also be telling you it was a happy family, even though deep down inside it was not happy. The beautiful thing about being a human is the ability to even make a choice that maybe you don't feel, if that makes sense. So it's studying what your choice was that you conveyed. That doesn't actually mean that's how you actually feel. To me, I from what I'm seeing from all of these things is this is the fight, this is the race to who can get past what you told and actually get to what you think without actually asking you, but to actually extract it. And once it's extracted, to be able to make those kind of inferences. But to me, that's what makes people human and makes them great, is the ability to really feel. So I know it's rough out there, y'all. I know that there's a lot of automation happening. People are losing their jobs. Things are happening very quickly. But just know that as a human, that is a piece of you that makes you great, is the ability to do that. So I'm trying to think, what's the other one I want to show y'all? It was this one. So, for example, this is an example of that. It is mimicking actual people, and people are saying, if I were in this spot, this might be how I would do it, because maybe the next time you would use your left hand and not your right hand, but every time you do it with the humanoid, you're always doing it with your right hand. Those types of things. If you trained it like that, then the humanoid would never use its left hand to do one of these things. Cash, you got anything to add?
I mean, this is the evolution of AI, right? But what is your power as a user? So I told you before that platforms are being forced to admit that AI isn't just some fun toy. Instagram, again, requires AI labels on all reels with realistic AI-generated people, scenes, or audio. And it'll demote or potentially demonetize the accounts that don't disclose that. We've seen a couple of these things that are out there. But Meta's new Muse image feature showed how fast it can go left. It lets users remix public Instagram photos into AI art. That's what we've been talking about. And Hollywood's agencies blasted it because most talent was opted in by default, putting real creators' faces. And what does that do? That increases brand risk, right? So around the world, though, regulators are catching up. EU just moved to ban AI services that digitally undress people without consent. And the Dutch court ordered X, which is also Grok, to stop generating deep fake news with fines of up to $100,000 per day for the violations. You already know they're going to get to it. But back in the US, new federal and state deepfake laws are targeting non-consensual AI porn and deceptual political content, meaning if the app uses your likeness in ways that cross those lines, you're not just mad at the algorithm, you may have a legal claim. And that's what they're trying to prevent at the federal level, but it's not going to be able to work. User empowerment here. So Meta says private accounts and under 18s are excluded from Muse image by default, and adults with public accounts can opt out, quote unquote, in a couple of clicks. Let's see how easy it is to really do. Apple News now requires AI-assisted content to be explicitly labeled as AI generated, pushing publishers towards transparency. So that also increases the value in something that is human made. But the game is shifting from AI is happening to you to what did you consent to? What did you disclose? And what are you willing to walk away from? So the tech is evolving, but so is your leverage. If you know your rights, read the toggles and stop giving away your image, your words, and your work for free. Because it's right there in the fine print for you. I'll bring up Jim Jones's idea that she had, maybe a month ago. Essentially,
I wasn't gonna bring that up because you know they listen.
IP.
Make sure y'all hit this like button and make sure y'all go ahead and share this because they will. I'm not even saying this just because some people will be like, "Oh, they say this because they just want you to share." No, literally, we're gonna get probably blacklisted and not shadow banned. I'm sorry, you get shadow banned for a while because of saying something like this. But go ahead.
I'm about empowering humans. So
I know, me too.
Each one teach
yeah.
one. Each one.
Oh, you want me to go ahead and talk about my example?
You can give it if you want to.
Yeah, so here's an example right here. Isaac is something that's launched by Weave Robotics, and Isaac is a home robot that is built for chores, folding laundry, making beds, tidying up, runs autonomously, and a human can remote in if needed. Well, y'all think that mapping just happened? Nah, it follows somebody who's in the house cleaning industry. And whoever that is, my idea is they should get a royalty for that.
There you go.
Because it's their actual body who taught it the movements to do this thing over and over again. So, every time you run that bad boy, I need 10 cents. 10 cents might not seem like a lot, but how many times they running that a day? I promise you spent
which essentially was you,
robot,
the person
baby,
that trained it is running. Yeah.
$8,000 on this robot, baby. I need that 10 cent go add up quick because if I spent $8,000 on this robot, it's about to fold all damn day. All day. They went, where your robot? It's working. Believe that. Believe it. The dogs, little stuff getting folded. Okay, puppies.
Or them little handkerchiefs and stuff.
It sure is a little puppy sweater, folded. Like, what's going on? Why this robot taking my coat? Because it costs $8,000. Here's the coat, folded.
Like, yeah. Give me your coat, Granny. Well, you folding coats, baby? Well, I'm not folding coats.
Isaac is folding coats. Isaac is. So that was my idea, is that there should be a level of royalty. If you train it, it bows you, royalty. No different than streaming, right? Streaming, and everybody gets a little bit to eat off of it, right? We talk about in the music industry, if you have a little sound on it, sometimes you get a royalty from that. We talked about in the sports industry. You got all these people who get a little bit of this, a little bit of that because of your success. The robots are no different. Why should they be different? So that's all I got with that. I don't understand why the robot should be. Don't look at me like that, robot. You ain't no different. You gots to pay. You gots to pay. Gots to pay, Isaac. But that's all I have for y'all tonight, is to just keep in mind, there's a couple of things, high level again as a summary. Watch your face. If you don't want it out there, go opt out. Okay, because chances are the next wave is taking your face and putting it on a humanoid. It's coming. If you don't like what's in the One Big Beautiful Bill, or even the lack of restrictions, the lack of regulations allowed by states, then you need to go vote people in office who align with what you want. If you like it, they're cool. I'm sure folks with them data centers probably don't like that. But if you don't, that's something you could do with that, because it's definitely in the One Big Beautiful Bill. 10 years, so you got till 2035. 2035, y'all. It's a long time. So if you want some change, you got to beat a change on that. And then finally, royalties. Yes. Y'all see what them robots and everything was doing in them other videos? Yes, royalties. Pay me my money. You want that little fold for your little doggy sweater? 10 cents. Thank you. Every time. That's it. That's all I got for today. Got anything, Cash?
Nope.
All right. This has been a Talk Techie to me. We'll catch y'all on another pop-up. But we are here with the normal live stream every Friday, 11:30 p.m. EST with Plain Dane and Cash. We'll see y'all again next Friday night, 11:30-ish EST. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Tell 2 people you like and someone you don't, because you won't regret it. And we'll see y'all next Friday. Yeah. Bye, y'all. Oh, you got me dancing.
Yeah. Late night eyes on the feed. You want the truth in the speed. Jamming the noise, I pull it clean. Money move tucked in the screen. Daily drip. We read the signs. Tech talk one step at a time. Left to right, we make it make sense. No extra smoke, just common sense. Yeah, talk a little slower. Let me see the plan. Show me where the cash lands. Show me where you stand. Talk, take it to me. Make it make sense. Talk, take it to me. Show me the rent. Gems in the frame. No time to pretend. Talk, take it to me. Talk, take it again. Jim Jones and Dame on the glide. Surf through the coast, side by side. Clicks on the screen, thumbs in the air. Building that come up, we all there. Politics, hustle, and the feed. Facts for the folks who need. You bring the vision, I bring the vibe. One clean move and we rise, yeah. Talk a little louder. Cut through the noise. If the move is solid, I'm with your choice. Talks, take it to me. Make it make sense.